down, can't remember what page it's on. You know what that means, right? That means very quickly I find the glasses and try to find it. If I don't find it, then I'm just going to make it up. I have a fun time with this. All right. So what I'm going to do is tell you what I remember, and never mind all that paper. I do it every time and it just sits there. I heard that, Dottie. I want to finish a little bit with the first time I truly understood a sunrise. I mean, I really understood it. I was around them all the time. But for one morning, I went outside, and I'm sure it was a Sunday morning because there was no rush to get ready to eat and go to school. And we weren't rushing to go to the fields on Saturday to work a half day. So it had to be Sunday. And I'm sitting out on the back stoop, and the sun is rising. It is absolutely fabulous. It's fantastic. My father is outside taking care of the animals, getting ready to milk our cow Lily and take care of everything, feed the hogs and all of those things. And I'm looking straight ahead of me at the most beautiful sunrise. There is a mist just lingering. There was like clouds. And there was this beautiful reddish golden light shining through, warming the earth. And the earth smelled sweet. It was an amazing experience. I had finally noticed it. The earth smelled sweet. There was no silence. It was warm. I was at peace. My daddy walked past and looked at me and smiled. I smiled at him, and he walked on because he understood. This is what he saw every morning. When I was inside getting a few minutes of sleep before the rush to eat, go to school, and all those things. And I remember that beautiful day to this day because it changed me. I noticed that as the sun pulled the clouds up, the mist rose, that the earth began to smell like a farm. All of the smells on a farm when you have cattle and hogs and chickens and people. The earth warmed up. You could smell the soil. But for a few minutes, it was sweet. And that is what the sunrise does for us. It gives us that sweetness. We're still learning how to enjoy the sweetness. We're so used to the pungent. The pungent does things. Of course it does. This is the earth coming to life. It is sprouting. It is growing. It is producing. But that sweet smell is the place to linger, to remember, to just taste it if you like, and be there and go back to that place. And don't just say, oh, that was a moment. No. That is something to cherish. That's part of you. That's who you are. It is inside of you. And you can always go back there, and you can be in that sweet moment, and your life stops right there while you're beginning to understand and figure out what to do next. Because it's going to rise. Your day will begin. You're going to talk to someone. You're going to work. You're going to write. You're going to take care of family. All of these things will happen because that is the sun lifting and letting you know that it's your turn now to do the next piece. How are you going to allow for that sweetness to direct you? Are you rushing about? Are you upset? Are you angry with life? Are you feeling down? We go through all these emotions. Are you feeling at peace? Are you feeling more comfortable, more relaxed to do the chores and things that in the past you didn't want to do? You were tired of doing them. I've heard it so many times. I'm so sick and tired of this. I've heard so many people say this. And I say, well, tell me more about what's the sick part and what's the tired part. People always put it together. I'm sick and tired. It'd be amazing what they're tired of and the thing that they're sick of. And then we work with that. And I work with them. We're coming back to this place where there's peace, where there's this sweet spot. But just like the sun rises, it does set someplace in the world. But where we are, we have this sunset. And what did the sunset do? It grounds you. You're going to become like the root of the great massive sequoia. You're going to be the root. You're going to be ancient. You can just be planted. You're not something that does not have a foundation. And you can then hold yourself firm. You can hold yourself strong. You can be gentle, but you're rooted and you're solid. And all of this takes place because you care about you. You are nourishing you. You are giving to you. You are taking care of you. You are sprouting. So when the sun rises again, you rise. When the sun sets again, you set. And this is perpetual. And you can change and transform your life every moment by following your truth. This is what the sunrise and sunset has in meaning for me. If I am going to follow someone else's truth, then I am not being true to Joyce C. And I've worked very hard to come to this place to be true to me. I have been through some stuff. I'm sure everybody here has been through stuff, whatever stuff is. And guess what? Stuff is still out there. One of the things that we as human beings create a lot of is stuff. And guess what? It's not my stuff. I will not own it. I am not going to keep it. If it tries to come in, it can't come in that door. It's not coming in that door. Or whichever door is trying to come in, it cannot enter here. I will not allow stuff. Friends, yes. Good humor, yes. Sit down to a meal, yes. A fun conversation, you bet. Laugh for no doggone reason. You got that right. But you're not going to bring your stuff in here and drop it off and expect for Joyce C to take care of it. It's not going to happen. There is a boundary. You cannot take away my sunrise and my sunset. I refuse. I refuse. And so because of that, my journey has meaning and purpose for me. It is not about trying to find myself. Well, hell, I found myself when I was 2.5 and didn't know it. Like I said, why did you get up? I had some place to go. Well, I'm still going. I've had a hell of a lot of obstacles, and hell is an appropriate word I'm thinking right at the moment. In this life, I snuck it in, Dot. I snuck it in. I saw that. I have moved through some obstacles that when I look back on it, I realized that the strength that kept me going was that I truly said, you must be your daddy's child for sure. I said, okay, then. I said, well, what does that mean exactly, Joyce C? Because so many things came along in my daddy's life that would have maybe stopped some others, and it didn't stop him. He kept going. It's not, raising 10 children. Well, actually, he had 12 children altogether. A son before my mother, an adoptive son, and then 10 children. And he never stopped. He worked, he taught, he helped others. He was a master at building things, old furniture without nails and things, tanning hides, because they learned all kinds of skills growing up after slavery and doing it. My father was never a slave, born in 1898. But the fact remained is that the teaching was there. The teaching was there, and he learned. So for a man who only went to the 3rd grade, his son rose. You see? So when someone is talking about, I can't do it, I'm whatever the heck the excuse is, no. Whatever that is, you're listening to something outside of you. You got to come inside and get that sun, and you got to rise. You have to rise, you have to rise, you have to rise. In order to move beyond anything, we must have a sense of who we are at the greater part of our life as opposed in the lesser part. So you can understand how it is that my father was a mentor. I do have to tell you a quick story that he hit me one time. Yeah, he did. I was stunned. In fact, I cried. Well, he was tired, and we went to the well to get some water, and I wanted to carry the bucket because I wanted to impress him. And so he hit my hand. No, I screamed and screamed and screamed. And I looked at my father's face, and he was crying. And I had never seen my father cry. I made a promise. I would never give my father reason to cry again. And I never did. And I never did. Because I understood in that moment, because he surprised me. He didn't hurt me. It just surprised me because my dad had never hit me. He told me stories as a little kid. He taught me how to tan hides of all things, and how to butcher hogs and all kinds of stuff. He taught me all kinds of stuff later on. But as a little kid, he was teaching me. And so for this, a beautiful man whose sun rose every day and his sun set until his last breath, June 10th, 1972. He was his own man. He lived his life to the utmost best that he could. And he taught me, and he helped me to realize that there was more to me than what anyone else would think or believe or say or want me to believe, that I must be my sun that rises and sets. I must be, because I didn't have a lot of choices. I only had one choice. I could be me, or I could be what someone told me I was supposed to be. I chose to be me, and I ran the obstacles. I ran the obstacles. And so I'm here today to say to you, be your own sun. Let it rise, let it set, let it nurture you, let it hold you, let it fill you with life, and let you give and share of yourself to the best of your ability. But above all, know that it always begins with you. If you're thinking that if I'm pushing my energy out, that I'm going to give, well, where are you in that equation? Share. The word is sharing, not being all. You cannot be all. Well, I don't know. There's close to 8 billion of us. That does not include the plant life or the animal life or the insect life or anything that's in the water. So that's a hell of a big deal to carry. That's big. Got it in again. So guess what? Start with you. Start with the singular, knowing that you are multi in your own right. Give to you, share it. Just share it. Keep some for you so that you have something to nourish you as your sun sets, and that will replenish you as your sun rises. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Joyce C.
I got kind of cranked up with that one.
Well,
but
I'm thinking.
I enjoyed myself.
That was beautiful.
I enjoyed myself.
Speak it. Speak it.
All right.
And as Joyce C. and I were talking about this, it's like our invitation to you is to take a look at how you get a sense for how you are going to awaken to the new year.
Yes.
How are you going to become your full sunrise?
Yes. All right.
How are you going to become your full sunrise?
Are you going to become? Yes. Because you have to follow some steps, and you have to take care of you in the process and give to you in the process. And that's what it is. That's part of the being yourself. And but like I said, I had my mentor, and I shall never, ever lose that gift. I will not lose that gift from someone has so much taken from him, and yet at the same time, he gave so much. He gave so much.
And you are the fruit of his giving.
I am the fruit.
Yeah.
That's true.
And his tears about the one time that he struck you when you were wanting to carry the bucket.
Yeah, it was a big bucket too. But I wanted to prove to Daddy I could.
Daddy didn't want to have to carry it himself if you dropped it and go back and get some.
Oh,
Not me.
Okay.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
Wonderful. You just gave me so much energy. I was kind of feeling, and you just put the juice right back in me. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, thank you, darling.
Thank you.
There was a way in which your story was like a spiral. As you got into it more and more, my understanding of him and his message and your experience deepened. I started at the outside of the spiral, and it came more and more and more to the center. So
Wonderful. Thank you.
welcome.
And as we take a breath in and breathe in Joyce's words of wisdom, Joyce's wonderful invitation, that is the invitation. Mary, you so beautifully accepted it, got on, and that's the magic of this, my friends, the magic of us being together. Physically distancing, but not socially distancing. We are here together, building that thread of energy together that will give us the strength to build our sunrise the way we want it. And there's an infinity to this, because what Patty was talking about earlier, when we were talking about this earlier this week, and what Joyce was just talking about now, is the power of taking care of ourselves. So Tom and Mary came on board and they said, we need some energy. And so that is what we need to identify. What gives us energy? What gives us strength to those rays of sun, those sunbeams in our sunrise? What gives us the energy? And it might be different. It might look slightly different for each one of us. But as we awaken to the new year, what will that be? What is that for you? Do you know what is in that sunrise?
Can I speak for just a moment, Janet?
Yeah, Glory. Yeah, Miss Glory.
This helped me to feel connected again,
Good.
to see the familiar faces of those of you who I call family, my extended family. I love you so much, and your story, Joyce, made me feel connected.
Mm.
My grandmother was a wonderful storyteller,
Mm.
and I'm a wonderful storyteller.
Mm.
And you reminded me. So I'm inspired to wake up in the morning and let my light shine and tell my story. Thank you.
Thank you, Glory. I'm looking forward to your story. We can burn up some phone line.
Oh yeah, I need one of those 5-hour calls real soon.
Well,
Hey, Glory,
Yes.
we're looking for speakers for church.
I'll get on it. Okay.
uh, uh,
Can I just say one more thing to you, Joyce? And that is, you reawakened me the understanding of you can go out and see a sunrise, and you can go out and see a sunrise, and sometime you will go out and see the sunrise that comes to the sweet spot. And the breath you take is that energy, and it reminded me that I've had those kind of moments, and I need to understand that you don't have them every day, but you can have a good moment every day, and you can wait for that blessed moment, that magical moment that we all get once in a while, and we forget that they're out there, and we just have to open our heart to them. And I just could give you a big hug if we were closer, because this was such a wonderful talk for me to hear right now. It's my daughter's birthday. My daughter
Oh
that
my.
passed away 15 years ago. So it could have been a sad day, and you made it a glorious day. Thank you.
welcome. Thank you.
And I wanted to mention something. I had a grandfather that we worked in the fields, and every morning we'd get up and the sun was just barely peeking up, and you're exhausted and you're tired and you don't want to go to work and you don't want to bale the hay. And he'd all of a sudden burst out and start singing, "Oh, what a beautiful morning." And every
Yes,
morning of his
yes.
life, he sang, "Oh, what a beautiful morning." And to my mother, who might be hungover, or to me, who was, this 11, 12-year-old, which wanted to do anything but get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And those grandparents seem to have a way of seeing the beauty of the earth and the world around them that
Mhm.
we seem to have lost sometime. Thank you for reminding me.
Very welcome. Thank you for sharing.
And Mary, I want to acknowledge too what you just shared. And that is so often we don't acknowledge those birthdays, those anniversary dates, and we sometimes don't even have a way to prepare for them. But just by naming it and saying, I'm going to find the sweetness, I'm going to be brought back to that core of love. That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. And that's the gift that we can give by coming into community with each other.
And the gift of
if I could.
embracing our
Yes.
sunrise and sharing our sunrise, because there's so many people that sunrises are super dim right now. So that's what I keep waking up is like, how can I bear the light and share the love? So thank you, Joyce C. I gotta say, I thought you did pretty darn sweet with that singing.
Okay.
I could have listened a little bit longer.
Well, don't even think about it.
Ms. Chris, you had something to say.
I did. I have the extraordinary privilege of spending time with Joyce and Patty on a regular basis. And first of all, Joyce, in general, I want to thank you for your extraordinary generosity of spirit, of thought, of heart, the openness and the depth to which you allow us to poke and prod and examine is just extraordinary. So big thank you to that. And as far as you're talking today, I'm actually multitasking, so I had my picture off because I'm supposed to be working, but I'm listening. and in the listening, the piece that comes out super strong to me is how when we are full within ourselves, when we stand erect and puff out our chests and say, this is who I am, and this is the space that I inhabit, and this part is mine, and I leave the rest to you. When we do that, we give permission to other people to do the same, to find who are they and how big are they, and what size is their space, and what is their need, and what are the resources that they carry within themselves.
Mm.
And I just was struck. It's not something specific. It's what radiates from you. That's the best that I can say about that. It's the stories that you shared and how you shared them, and the the landscape that you painted and the action within that landscape, and how it brought up old stories of mine and visions of mine, and what I think of my forefathers, etc. Who am I responsible to? What is my legacy? I mean, all of those things were contained in what you were talking about, and much, much more. And so where that takes me is two things. One, for myself, to continue to explore those questions about myself. And I've often had the question, what is my legacy? And I have ways that I deal with it, but I'm not done on that one yet. But also understanding, knowing, and trusting that when I do that work and when I show up for it, that is the work. And how we change the world is, I shared this recently, how we change the world starts with what does my own kitchen look like, right? What am I doing here? And if I'm not inhabiting my aura and my egg and my space, then how can I expect other people to do that? So the ability to check in and make sure that I'm doing the best that I can right now, not perfect, but what's the best that I can do in this situation? And by continuing to set that expectation for myself and work toward it, I create a template for other people to not only look to follow, but to trust that there's gold at the end of that rainbow.
Yes.
And so I'm not perfect, but I hope that the arc of my life, it gives people hope that if they have aspects where they started out in ways that I did, and that if they find value in where I am today, that they can trust that they have an arc of their own. I think that's the deepest I've ever come on that one. So that's what I took away, in addition to everything else, and from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you.
And we just invite all of you to just allow yourself to absorb that incredible, wellspring of wisdom that has come not only from Joyce C., she started it, but everybody else that has had the courage to share how it was receiving it and then giving it back to us. And so take that into your hearts, into your bodies. Take that into your mind, that message, that not only are you enough, you are exactly what we need. And to have you be that shining light, as Sue so beautifully said, to be that shining light, we've got to take care of ourselves and move and inhabit into that space. That is us.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a day-to-day quest.
Yeah.
It's an everyday quest. You don't wake up tomorrow and say, well, I'm a little black cloud looking for some place to land. Though I may have that moment, I'm not sure. But to wake up in the morning and to see something in that morning, that is the bright, it's the light, it is that compassion from within. That's that which moves me to move, to get up, to do something, to just sit and contemplate this big, beautiful tree across the way and a little open field back there and see what the birds are doing. To do something other than immersing one's sense in the what isn't and why me and what is happening, because that is a thing that consumes us. And once we have enough of that inside of us, we just become this emptiness. And when we are empty, things that can come in and find a roost can be very shocking. And what happens is those things that are in the downside, what I call the negatives, the downside, the hurtful things, the antagonistic kinds of things, all of those things, they always are looking for a nice, comfortable place to come to rest. I refuse to give them one. I say, oh no, I only got room in here for Joyce C, and that's it. And because I will not allow for that to get inside, I feel better more than I don't. And I have off moments. I do. But I tell you what, I get right into the business of correcting that. I do not let that grow and grow and grow and grow till it consumes me and takes away my sunrise. We're entitled to that. And the word that I did a piece on, it's called worthy. If nothing else, just realize that we are all worthy of the best there is. We're just worthy. We're worthy because we are. And we don't have to explain it or want anyone to agree. We just need to feel it and know that it is a personal gift we give to ourselves. I am worthy. Try saying that in the morning when you get up instead of wondering about other things, what the world is doing. I can tell you something. Whatever the world is doing, it has chosen to do it. So I'm going to choose to do I am worthy. That I am full of wonderful, brilliant sunlight. That I am Joyce C. I'm just going to claim me. I don't even have to be worthy. I just claim I am Joyce C. And then discover that I really do feel good when I do that, because I had an excellent teacher. And his name, Joseph Levi Thomas Brown.
Woohoo!
And so it is,
And
Joseph Levi Thomas Brown.
Thank you to Joyce.
Absolutely.
He lives on.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hi, Janet.
Yes. So now, Lynn, if we are complete, are we complete? Joyce C, are we complete?
Oh, yes, I am so complete. I am curious about what Lynn's going to be doing.
So take it away, wonderful Lynn. Reverend Lynn Rogers, our historian.
I'm listed for readings, and so I'm going to just follow the energy with that for a little bit. And if we have time, do a kind of a special release and New Year meditation. So I'm just going to move around and see where the aura colors are. And we know that the reading for one can be a reading for all. So take the parts that belong to you. And if you have an intuition for someone, there may be time to share it. Okay, so we want to connect with the Mother, Father, Creator of all, the Holy Spirit within us, and ask to stand in the Christ light of all faiths as we ask for divine guidance from our guides and teachers as well. I felt with you, Dottie, that Michael would like to be, and this is not a negative, he'd like to be the spirit of the center. And he's returned in memory there for the moment.
Wow.
And he wants to be that. He would like a picture of him and to be the spirit of the center. So he's asking if he can do that. And he'll still be able to progress and to go in and out, but that's what he wants to be now. So, and he's returned there for the moment and to his sense of being there. It's like a place he reorients himself before he moves back and forth to the light and to new growth. So he'll still be with you very much.
We have competing spirits, because I felt Dottie Garagula's spirit in there.
Oh,
I
good.
I felt Annette and Ayala's spirit in there.
So they won't be alone.
All of these spirits that have passed away this year. I mean, these are, it's amazing how many people we have lost that are UCMCCL members in a very short period of time.
Well, no wonder he wants to be there. That's
yes,
a warm, beautiful company. So just
thank you.
kind of moving along. Yeah, moving along and feeling where the aura colors are. John, may I come to you?
Yep.
Yeah, I just feel behind you on your right side and behind a lavender light coming in. And it is a feminine guide. It could be Reverend Pearl. It could be your mother who prepared you for Reverend Pearl. And you and Reverend Pearl have a soul connection, whether she's in or out of body.
Yes.
And she had the same extraordinary abilities that you do, physically to mind way over matter. So you two are soul linked, like sister, brother, soul. And she's behind you now.
Definitely. Thank you.
And let's see, Annie, may I come to you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So they're just wanting you right now. It's like a regeneration time to just kind of clear the clouds gently. There's been a fatigue. There's been a lot that's happened and a lot to process. And animal energy is really wonderful for you during this time. That's really where the animal energy, even feet on the ground in earth, as you regenerate yourself, because you've helped others pass through many passages, as all of us are doing. When all of us are sleeping, they're saying right now, we are very, very busy. And we're really helping in so many ways in these challenging times. Corky, may I come to you? Corky? Okay. So she's not on right now. Let me just kind of move through you. Joan, may I come to you? I think people are muted, so maybe we have to unmute everybody, host, because
You can come to me.
okay, can you raise your hand if you're unmuted? Okay. Okay, good. So Amber, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
Do you have a question, Amber?
I'm looking for a job right now, and I'm looking for a permanent residence. So whatever you have that will help me with that, that'd be perfect.
Well, delay on the job, but it will come as weather gets warmer and life gets freer. But there's delay, and there are things to do in the meantime. It feels like if there's a change of residence, it will literally come to you. It's going to come to you. The signs will be there. As in The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Shinn. Great affirmations to make, and then hold still, follow intuition. Let's see, Annie, it came to you. And Kathleen, may I come to you?
Yes.
So you always keep, like the goddess Athena, you keep a poise and an intellectual purpose, and not much ruffles you. And it's really, your quest for truth is really strong. I see your arms around younger people, not all who you can be around right now, but whom you mentor. And yet you still keep a loving connection, and some are needing you to be in touch with them, some that you work around. They need a little outreach right now. A small word from you will make a big difference. So they're asking you to reach out and make contact. Let's see, Joyce, may I come to you?
Yes.
Well, it feels to me as if your father is what Casey and Jessica would have described as your complementary soul through all time. Just as Mary and Jesus played the role of parent and child, but they were really the complementary soul for all time. And he is experiencing now a sense of his new life will give him the opportunity to be all the things, all the advantages, and those things that he didn't have in the last life. But look for him, because he will be active, and you will know him again.
Thank you.
Earth. Okay. Let's see. And you two had a soul agreement to come together and to really carry some teachings that had begun in the slave time forward into the light of metaphysical truth. And that was a shared purpose that the two of you had. And you are finishing it, freeing him to have a new life and a new experience.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Let's see. Mary, may I come to you?
Yes.
Okay. Just say your daughter's month and day of birth, could you please, and her whole name?
It's Catherine Mary Alcordo Megis Gardner. And her birthday is January 12th.
Well, she's saying, don't miss me because I'm here all the time with the grandchildren, with you. I'm here in the house. So, so don't worry about missing me. I'm here. And she's getting to do and express and do things for her children through you that are very meaningful to her. And she really isn't going to move away fully from this plane until that's accomplished. But through the great grandchild, and there will be another one coming, she feels more freedom there, because but with her own children and her children's children, that's being worked out with you and Tom, and she's there. Don't miss me. I'm here. I'm here all the time. So that's good. Okay. Who else would like a message? Just raise your hand. Okay. Okay. Sue, can you say your month and day you were born, please?
May 20th, 1966.
Okay. May 20th. Yeah, I feel creative talent with you. And like everyone, there are those clouds of just that we all have at moments. The fatigue, the isolation, there's a little bit of that in your aura, but you have some creative talents that you kind of know about, but may have not activated for a long time. This is a great time to do it, and it'll bring a lot of color. Color's good for you. You can be healed through color. So you know what some of those things are, more than one creative talent. Gloria, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
Let's see. I saw earlier around you like a deep blue-green healing light. As you counsel others, you're going to be healed more and more physically. So this may happen informally, not to drain yourself, but especially in your like-minded situations where you can speak freely, you could be counseling others, and this deep green comes in because you can be an emotional healer and it's going to manifest right back in your body. There'll be some adjustments and medications after a while, things a little less, more natural things, a little bit more still, or maybe finding something that's more right, and that will help your body a little bit. But be an emotional healer and you will experience many degrees of healing in the physical. And they're showing the Egyptian Ankh around you. You were in the temples of Egypt. You even went into the regeneration temples and can be like the phoenix and regenerate fully. It's a good thing going. And I saw some of that Egyptian Ankh around Corky. So who else raised their hand? Chris, may I come to you? And if you can open your hands, Chris, and just so that the healing, writing is good. And maybe, okay.
One hand open, one hand writing.
Okay, great. Just for a minute, just to get the energy free and open. Well, I feel a lot of third eye energy with you, a lot of holding to intent and purpose. And that is something, here's an exercise we can all do. And we're going to, and do it when we're talking about it. Everyone take a deep breath. This is a good exercise for Chris and others. Hold your energy in your third eye, but breathe out. That cleanses negativity. Try it again. You're a third, thank you. So you can work with third eye energy. And each time someone comes in afresh to leadership in our church, they're divinely guided. And you've had a lot of guidance about our church and for our church that's trying to come in and through you. You're a conduit for that right now, chosen to do that. And a lot of that will come through the third eye. So do record it and write it and have it just succinctly ready when you're called upon, because it is coming to you, not only when you're in board meetings and so forth. So a channel for the church at this time. Okay,
Great,
let's
thank
see.
you.
Is there someone raising their hand? Okay, Joan.
Donna and Joan. Yeah.
Donna, okay.
And Joan.
Joan, can you hold your hands up just for a second? Just both of them, and send energy this way. Okay, and now you can write or do whatever you like. Thank you. I felt some child energies in your aura earlier. I have no idea who they are, what that's about, but I don't know. Do you know, Joan, what that's about?
The the fellow that I'm dating he just reverts into a happy 10-year-old at times.
Okay. Maybe it's the two of you, because I feel the energy of the child and children in the aura. And So that's a good thing. And but there is a feeling of merriment, and you've had a lot of responsibilities, so it's okay to have merriment and to have childlike playfulness and to refresh yourself. But there is a dream connection to someone who's crossed over, and that dream connection continues on, and you're doing some things in the dream state with one person and some things on earth with another, and it's in divine harmony. And there's agreement that this is to be at this time. Merriment, enjoyment, even foods you just really like. It's time to care for yourself in that way. Okay, anyone else? And then we could, if not, okay, where are we? Oh, Donna.
Joan.
Donna.
Yeah.
She just finished.
Okay, where am I? Let's see. I can
Donna.
see
Joan
Donna.
and Donna.
Okay, Donna. Okay, let's see. Can you say your month and day of birth, please?
January 20th.
Well, this isolation in some ways has given you an opportunity to recharge, and some of us have needed it. So, and I see building blocks in changing some health habits gently toward what to increase your health and well-being, which is good. And to just be able to be gentle with those things. We can't all expect a lot of ourselves, but we can gently move. And I see 3 healthy steps and new habits and things that you're bringing into your life that will prepare you for a more active time. You have somebody in your life who's both in the body and out of the body. So sometimes he's in the body and other times he's with you in spirit out of the body. So you're having a two-level relationship right now. Enjoy those out of body times when he comes near into the home and he's all of himself, because he is speaking and connecting with you in that way. Okay, and did you say, Janet, where else am I to go?
Joan.
She did, Joan.
Okay, so we're good. Okay, so I just wanted to.
Would anyone else like a?
Then, can I come to you?
Sure, I'll take it.
2 very strong masculine energies. Your husband's on the left side. He says, I'm here with you every day. And the other one is a teacher who's been with you in several lifetimes in the past. And he says, I am here to help you hone your skills and be more expressive. So you're already very expressive, but he's been with you in previous lifetimes as well. I don't think he's ever been your husband, but he's been a person in your life who is a male energy. And he loves being with you, and he loves your husband. So they've known each other. You all 3 have known each other for quite a while. So he's a very good energy to have there. And yes. Question?
That's wonderful. I'd also been researching my father's father, William Rogers, and I don't know if it might be him.
Well,
I don't know.
He feels like a relative. He feels like he's been with you. I don't think.
Maybe not. Maybe he's
I think it's been a while. It's been, you're right. I think you're on the right track, because now he's glowing. So keep doing that. Keep doing that, what you're doing.
Well, and to say my husband is with me, I mean, it's very reassuring. So Joe,
he's there.
Yeah, I'll let you work on Vanessa and the group home while I enjoy my life a little bit. So thank you.
Yeah, he'll help. He's helping you with that. He's there every day because he wants to be there every day, not because he needs to be. He wants to be there with you. So
it's wonderful to know he's there.
One more if you don't mind, and that's Janet. Janet, there's an artist who stands behind you. She's a woman, an older looking woman, but she only comes that way to impress me. I think that she's knowledgeable. Because she's a very young spirit. She's a very light, loving spirit. And she writes music, and she loves music, and you do too. And she's encouraging you to write some more music, because she thinks there's more you can be bringing in if you would do that.
Oh, thank you, John, for that. Thank you. I will take that in.
This is so wonderful. I feel we're combining the educational night with the Vespers, where we did some readings as a group. It's so much fun.
Yes.
So much fun. Let's see.
Thank you.
Now, I just wanted to have us take a moment for a little bit of a very condensed meditation that began long ago. I was exposed to it in the 70s, and I'm going to do it in a condensed form. It's releasing what we've gone through to inaugurate something new. So I'd like us all to just take a deep breath. And for a moment, we're going to call up one more time and very briefly the energy of the year we just passed through, 2020. And we're going to, I'll mention a month or a holiday, and you don't have to consciously remember because your soul knows what it's learning and may bring that to the surface now or later. So first we call up from the skeins of, we call up from our recent experience, December of 2020, the month of Christmas, Hanukkah, and Yule. And we just call it up for a moment so our guides and teachers can bring to our awareness anything we need to know that we were learning, even in one word. Let them tell us or give us a feeling. And now we release that month to the skeins of time and space. And we go back to November of 2020, month of Thanksgiving, Scorpio and Sagittarius birthdays. And we take a moment to know what we learned. And we release that to the skeins of time and space. And then we call up October, month of Libra and Scorpio birthdays, of Hallowmas and Samhain, at parties of Halloween, costumes, even in our own solitude. We experience that for a moment and know what we learned. And we release that to the skeins of time and space and go backwards to September, month of Virgo and Libra birthdays, of harvest time, the equinox, and experience that which we learned. And we release that and go back to August, month of Leo and Virgo birthdays. A warm month, a hot month. Maybe a month we couldn't be out or traveling or doing what we usually did in the warm month to experience that which we really learned. And we go now back, releasing that month to July, the month of Cancer and Leo birthdays. A midsummer month to experience that which we really learned. And we move back now, releasing that month to the summer solstice of June. Time in the goddess tradition, where the wheel turns, that leads us to eventually to the darker time, where the days are longer. Month of Gemini and Cancer birthdays, to learn and know what our soul really learned. And we release the energy of that month to the skeins of time and space, the Akashic record going back to May, month of the mother, of roses, of Aries and of Taurus and Gemini birthdays, that is. What did we really learn? The month perhaps when we thought this might be over. After sheltering in, what were we really learning? And we released that month to the skeins of time and space going back through April, month of Aries and Taurus birthdays, a springtime month, a month that can have Easter. What did we really learn? We release this to the skeins of time and space and go back to March, beginning formally sheltering in, time of the turning of the wheel in the goddess period, as we just are after Candlemas, the time of the Pisces energy and Aries energy. What did we really learn? And now releasing to the skeins of time and space, we go back to February, month of St. Valentine's, the beginnings of awareness of a change in our world, the signs of Aquarius and Pisces, leap year, Candlemas. What did we really learn? Time to sweep away winter's fears, and yet the world knew its fears. We release February to the skeins of time and space and go back a year ago to January, the month of New Year's resolutions, the month of Capricorns and Aquarians. What did we really learn? Possibly that some of our resolutions may have found a way to express themselves through the more monastic lives that we've lived in a different way from our heart center. Now we call up, releasing January, the entire energy of 2020, and we lift it up, asking for a word, a sense of the ultimate lesson of the year. And we release, and we can even with eyes closed, lift our hands up, and we release that, the energy of this year, into the skeins of time and space, into the soul records. And as we bring our hands down and touch our heart chakra, we invite more fully in blessed opportunities that can come by recognizing and seeing the sunrise, as our wonderful speaker helped us more deeply understand, even in the midst of struggles that we pray will wane. We can take a moment to send conditions that no longer are needed, that are considered negative perhaps in our lives, in our country, and that of the earth. We release those conditions and circumstances to the dust heap of their native nothingness, as Florence Shinn said. Blessed be. And we affirm in their place that we each fulfill the perfect game of life. We affirm our perfect purpose, perfect relationships, perfect health, and perfect divinely directed conditions in our environment, our state, our country, and in the world for 2021. Blessed be. We could just all say, blessed be, or amen.
Blessed be.
So
Blessed
be.
be.
Amen. Or so it is.
Fun in 2021.
Blessed be. Blessed
Blessed
be.
be.
Blessed be.
And now, as we bring our attention gradually back from that inner space, we have just a little more time for something fun. Do we have time, Janet?
I think we have time. Yes,
some-
if it's short, because I know for some people are writing to me that they're getting tired.
Okay, well, I'll just give it to you to take home. Take home with you the fun of looking for your number for the coming year. And you'll do that by adding your month and your day together and then adding it to 2021. And they're wonderful books, like this book on numerology for Juno Jordan. And I invite you to take a look at your number for the coming year, because it can really help pep you up so that you can look for the opportunities.
Whatever
very
the
good.
universal year is always the same year for me because I was born on 9/9.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we know that if you find a 1 year, it's a new beginning and new seeds for a 9-year future. A 2 year is a time to cooperate, use your intuition, and be in partnership. A 3 year is lots of fun and can be creative. 4 helps you build a solid foundation. 5 brings change and the opportunity to network, even through Zoom. And 6 is about home, family, and bringing harmony in relationships. 7 is a mystical year. 8 is a year of being, and a year of rest. 8 is a year of being out in the year. I have a familiar here with me. His tail is wagging. 8 brings you out into the world as an authority, even from your own home. And 9 is the completion. And then we begin another cycle. So I hope that offers a little bit of fun and release of the old as we get ready to inaugurate a new year.
So, Lynn, I have a question. What month and day? You mean of your birthday?
Yes, your month
and day of your birthday.
and your
Okay.
day. And
All
you
right.
add them together. Like I was born 9/11. So I would add 11 and 9 is 20. And then I would take that 20, 2 plus 0. So I have a 2 to work with. And then I added up to 2021, which breaks down to 5. So I am 2 plus 5 is a 7. I'm in a mystical 7, and I should be talking about metaphysical things. And thank you, Janet, for the opportunity to do so.
That's wonderful. That was great. That was fantastic. And so does everyone understand about the month, day, and then the year 2021? Everyone got that? Wonderful. Well, we just want to thank from the bottom of our hearts everybody that has come here, and especially our incredible Reverend Joyce C. Thank you, Reverend Lynn Rogers, for this amazing evening where we've had the opportunity. Thank you, Reverend Dottie Boone, for leading us in an opening invocation and inviting us to be together, and each and every one of you. And I would just offer, consider making a donation to UCM or CCL. consider making a donation. These programs are going to be, we've decided, I think on UCM, if I'm not, I hope I'm not incorrect, that these are going to be offered free of charge.
How can people make a donation? Do we know how to do that?
That's a good question. Corey, can you answer that one?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question because I had my earpiece out.
Oh, no.
What was
If
the
someone
question?
wants,
How can we donate?
PayPal.
You can PayPal. You can send a PayPal to email@staff@ucm.org or u-c-m, or you can go on the website and click on the PayPal link. Now, PayPal, you don't have to have an account. You can just enter your credit card. If you have an account, you can use your bank account. The choice is yours. Or if all else fails, call Corky. You can give her the credit card information,
oh,
or you
great.
can just mail a check in. So I think the only thing we don't take right now is cryptocurrency. Sorry, guys. So no cryptocurrency yet. So
Well, this is a time when our church, as all churches going through this very challenging time, can much benefit by our generous donations.
And also, don't forget that CCL is going to have church service. Our virtual church is at 10:30, and it's under the Center for Creative Living and for YouTube. And so we'd love to have you join us on Sunday. And this Sunday, Reverend Dr. Eileen is going to be speaking about Martin Luther King.
And I'll be doing the opening prayer. I'm coming back.
Oh, yay, Annie, thank you.
Yay. And I'll be doing a song, actually 2 songs. Corey doesn't know this yet, but one that, that I channel. And there's a little chant that we did with Dr. Martin Luther King way back in the day. So,
Good.
So
join us for it.
Janet, I just want to tell you that sometimes when I get on the CCL broadcast and during your meditation with your music, I dance in my bedroom.
That's really good.
Oh, that makes me so happy, Miss Lori. Oh, that makes me so happy.
and if you want to get notified about the CCL program and stuff, just don't forget to subscribe. Once you get onto their YouTube account, and same with the UCM, go ahead and subscribe, and then as things come about, then you'll get the information. So like when I post the classes, and if you're already subscribed to the UCM YouTube, and then you'll get a copy that you'll get a notification that it's posted. So share that with your friends as well. It doesn't cost anything. So thank you.
Mary, your daughter doesn't mind hearing a happy birthday song or someone having a treat. and she said it's much easier for her. She doesn't even have to have a vaccine to be safe.
Let me remind you that regular giving creates regular receiving.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you, Joan.
Your regular giving to UCM and CCL creates regular receiving for you, for good things, good times, money, and answers to prayers. So just remember that as you're contemplating how much to give and when to give. Give regularly to have regular income. So I want to tell you, Lynn, that when you asked me about to see the year in December, so September, October, November, December, it was all bubbles of happiness.
Oh, thank you for the feedback. And I appreciated, Joan, how you helped me when I was on the board to inaugurate and further the idea of telling anyone that UCM could be in all of our legacies. We can put UCM in, and it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, and you can add them to the will, your wills and your accounts, a percent or a dollar amount. You don't have to do the whole thing. You can split it up. Yeah. There's lots of ways to give.
So I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here. I know it's been a long day probably for some of you on Zoom. Thank you for bringing your wonderful light, your wonderful energy. and continue to nourish yourself, continue to reach out to each other, and continue, my dear friends, to do something bad and decadent just for you. And that's your homework assignment.
Thank you,
I'm
Janet, for
this
the
meeting.
permission
Oh,
for being
how about
purposeful.
good and
All right.
decadent?
All right, all right, all right.
Thank you, everyone.
And decadent too. Oh, I love it.
I love it.
Uh-huh.
I see Gales in the future.
Oh, I want to come. I want to come.
Will my dog eat my homework?